What's up everybody, Tom here with another video. I hope you're having a great weekend and it's time for us to do our weekly look at the markets. We'll be taking a look in this video together using our top-down approach to the technical analysis for the S&P 500, Nasdaq, dollar index, gold, silver, Bitcoin and more to try to find out what's happening this week. We've been talking about how specific stocks are moving very well over the last month, but the question is, are they going to continue, and can retail continue to push the markets in different directions? Let's take a look right now. Stay tuned. All right, guys, well, let's take a look together at what's been happening in the market, as in the S&P 500 large companies. The heat map is one of the ways we like to do that. On Friday, we saw the same thing as usual. When the stock market starts to recover at the moment, it's being led by banks or financials and the energy sector. It's actually not generally the technology sector that has performed incredibly well over the last couple of months. We take a look at Friday actually closing up into the close, and this is because of the public holiday in the US. Generally speaking, the Friday is usually a positive day actually into the US holidays. You can pretty much go through Thanksgiving, all of the others, and you'll find that these events or these particular zones are generally positive. We did see the bullishness into the end of the day. What was it led by? Energy, financials, and materials. All of the sectors that do well during the value portion of the recovery. Now, I don't believe this is going to hold up. If we think about what's happened over the last 3 months, especially since the elections, energy's outperformed 34% when compared to things like the technology sector at 14.56. Financials also sitting at 17.19. And utilities at -5. Now remember, in a cycle of bull recovery, utilities and healthcare and a few of these other consumer staples, they actually recover or do better in the late cycle of a bull run or the middle cycle. Right now, we're in the very early cycles of the recovery, so we expect probably another 2 to 3 months good for energy and financials during this buying up phase. And after that point, what do we expect? Probably more the growth stocks like technology and industrials and those types of things to do with the recovery will probably start to take over. Just remember, the same things will apply here due to government spending, creating jobs, etc. that have happened in the GFC. Go back over and learn that. I'll be creating a video very soon to actually cover that on this channel. So definitely subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoy what we're doing. So I just wanted to quickly point out to everybody the market capitalization size. We're almost sitting at 1.5 trillion, up almost $500 billion over the last couple of weeks. That's pretty incredible when you think of just the sheer amount of money that's going into cryptocurrencies right now. We'll start off with the VIX for our technical analysis for the week. What's going on here with the VIX? It's hitting the 20. It's come back down after that last rally on Friday, and we're back at the most critical point for the VIX that's been here in some time. We know that traditionally the VIX being around 20 has acted as pretty much the catalyst for the market to take off and to become more volatile again. We've just seen low volatility come through, back down to the 20. Do we now have a takeoff? This is that point where it's been very, very common for it to find it. And also most fund managers, most big investors consider a VIX underneath 20 to be a normal market. So are we about to enter into what they call a normal market again, guys? We'll have to see. Dollar index weekly engulfing candle to the downside. It did pretty much come up and do some of the things we thought about last week. We got that non-farms payroll result that ended up pushing the dollar index down on the first kind of level of resistance. We go down to the daily. You'll notice there was a couple of bullish kind of candles here. Go into the 4-hour. And then you'll see here what we were talking about. Basically a structure formation that was forming, which gave us some thought process that there was definitely going to be some longing. And we thought that longing would go up to around the 90-60 zone. It actually pushed out past that. It got about to 90-70 and then fully rejected. Notice some of the plays that happened here on Friday. It's all over the place. We got an engulf down. Then we got a bullish hammer up, but we failed to close any candle above that. So I don't think the dollar index is looking strong. It looks like it more continues to go down here, but I've got clear levels of support here for the 90.25 for the week ahead. If it gets underneath there, we're going right down, possibly even into those lows, well under 90, back into the 89s. If we continue to struggle around here, look for more formation, more structure, and probably more day trading and scalping opportunities on the US dollar pairs. It doesn't look like we've got clear direction either way for now, but we do have structure forming around this zone, and we're back at the point where you would hope dollar index bulls come back in off these previous resistance areas. That leads us to some things like cryptocurrency. We'll talk about Bitcoin to start off with. We're on the 30-minute chart here, and I just wanted to show everybody the structure that's forming right up here at the peak. Let's have a look now on the 2-hour chart at how this looks. See how Bitcoin is basically coiling just underneath that 50,000 level. We're sitting between the 48, 49 kind of zone and the 46.5. This area here coils. If we get any snap above this 49,000, what happens next? I don't think 50,000 contains Bitcoin this time around. Whenever you have coiling right underneath the area, that is the point where you know that when it comes up to the key psychological level, it will smash it. So this week, it's all eyes on Bitcoin. We've got some support down here just above 46,000. That's where the buying pressures come through. Of course, a close underneath there this week. What's that going to signal? Further selling pressure back into the 44,000. If we get a close or anything above the 49,000 now, I think we smash the 50,000. I really don't think that's going to hold it back. There'll be some sellers there, but not as much as I think a lot of people would expect. XRP, US dollar, I just want to talk about this because this has been I've been kind of bullish on it ever since it was down here in this 45. It's been pretty nice. It's been kind of slowly gaining steam here. You can see the 20 moving averages and the 50 moving averages have been acting as dynamic support all the way through this process. We're now testing these previous highs at around 64. I expect if we break and close above these to go to the 75. And of course, any movement above the 75 is really pointing towards the dollar. I saw some big kind of surveys being put out there about what people were doing with XRP. And it's just always interesting to know the psychology. 37% of respondents said they were going to sell at $1. The rest of them had much higher targets, such as $5, $3, and $10. And some said they were just going to hodl it and never sell it. But the point I was trying to make there is that a lot of people are going to target the dollar level. Do I think that the dollar level is going to find resistance? You would have to expect so based on the number of results and the number of people that probably have targets right around there. What do you do if you want to get out? Possibly target slightly underneath that. And then you've got more of a chance of getting filled. That's the whole game and the aim, isn't it? Let's have a look here at silver. What's going on in silver? Well, I can tell you right now, it is looking okay. It's looking good, but it's of course reliant completely on the dollar. We look at the daily here and you'll notice the daily has rejected that 27. It actually closed at 27,248. That's good for silver, but we still need to clear some key levels. I really feel like unless we clear this 2780 zone, previous resistance over here, previous resistance over here, we just cannot move up. But if we do clear through that, yes, $29.80, $30, definitely the target zone. And I'd be very excited if silver can get back through here. I've been a long time kind of bull on silver since this kind of recovery in the markets has happened. I think it has a lot of properties. I'm definitely more bullish on it than I am gold. But in this case, it's doing the right thing. It just hasn't moved forward enough. Here's the 1 hour. You can see it's finding support on the previous resistance. Possibly this is a good little day trading kind of setup. Have to see how Monday trades, but this could be the kind of point where you take it up, take it into the 2740, take it into the 2780 kind of zone if it breaks this new high. All of these kind of things are the way that I'd be trading it. I would not look at silver or gold as something that I would be buying instantaneously. I'd be looking at the key resistance breaks each way or scalping and day trading if I wanted to take a little bit more risks. Let's take a look at gold now. What's happening on gold? Well, gold's 1830 zone continues to be a problem for it. We've got resistance being formed after it came down to the 1810, bounced off that and formed up here. Look at all the moving averages here, or even on the 1 hour, finding a whole bunch of pressure. We go to the daily, the most important time frame to check for gold, and things are looking kind of like all over the place. Very difficult again until we get above this previous rejection wick and these moving averages on the daily. 1875 is my longer term alert. I want to see that cracked. When that cracks, I'm back into what I call the participation phase. The market participation is where you want to be, guys. If we're in the participation phase, what are we doing? We're getting into the easy money. Participation phase is fine. Try not to buy the lows or pick the market too much. Be like kind of like a wolf in the Wall Street, like the Wolf of Wall Street always said, and that is take 2/3 of the move, the participation section. That's like the cream of the crop that you want right there. Now, what's going on in the stock market? Well, we've seen this big move on things like weed stocks. Of course, Tilray was one of those. Tilray actually has some pretty good news on it. And I must say, I'm incredibly surprised to see this huge bullish move busted down so quickly. So we had that explosion followed by a massive sell-off. And I tend to believe there's a second little run here, possibly on a company like Tilray. That's more of a gut instinct based on what I've seen in the past. But I think we could form some base around this 28, 29, 30 zone. We might form some pressure here for the buyers and then start to move around. Look to 35, a break of that this week will also trigger into 40. 40 then could trigger into some serious moves. But during any kind of blow off, you tend not to see like a movement up like this, followed by such a heavy movement down without some retrace. So I will be watching Tilray in the live streams this week, and I'm sure many of you will be with me, which is awesome. Net, also another one, Cloudflare. Decent little result there, came down, broke out before, then it's come down, found some support around the previous resistance structure and possibly moving forward. I said this on the live stream and I'll say it again. This is the kind of channel that you generally believe will kind of target that $100. And pending the market can hold up, this will be a key level that we're going to look at over the next week. Net, definitely interesting stock that I'm also looking at. US 100, what's going on here? Well, we're on the daily. Let's go to the weekly first. And you'll notice I've got RSI down here just to show you some things. Now, RSI is always going to go into overbought and it can sit there for a while. Look at this. Overbought, sits there for quite some time in the weekly. Overbought, did end up declining. Overbought, went up for a few weeks, then it did decline. What I use RSI more for is if we do get into the overbought, so we get over this 70 level, I tend to just say, okay, well, I need to be very, very ultra careful here. And if I'm going to day trade, I need to be quick, sharp, and fast. I don't have, especially to the long side, I don't have as much confidence in holding my trade in terms of movement. When we're down here in the RSI and we're recovering back to 70, that's the kind of point where I'm long from the process of if the price action is telling me that, that's good. Where we are right now, it's obviously that careful kind of area. Daily RSI has also been okay at predicting kind of drops. We can see here we went above the 70, then we did have that decline back to the 20. We went above, we had that decline back to the 20, and we haven't actually gone above the 70 yet. So possibly we hit across this trend line or this movement up. When we get above the 70 again, that will signal the next decline to the 20. Remember here, 20 moving average has been our number one kind of indicator for pickups in this market. And that's been as deep as it's got, except for this 150 moving average over here more recently. Take a look at the S&P 500. That was a strong Friday close, 39.40 straight into our resistance. Let's go down to the 2 hour here together and take a look at it. Look at this. It's gone resistance, stopped, moved down. Didn't move down as much as we thought to the 20 moving average on the daily. It's done this before though. It's gone down, it's gone up, it's actually tipped a new high, and then it's declined after forming some structure. Again, down, up, then it moved back down. So will that be this week? I'm really feeling that this is getting toppy. We maybe just want to get towards the 4,000. I feel like this is that psychological level that the market might just kind of like reach or get close to and then sell off from. It seems like a really big target for a lot of index players and a lot of people out there, but we might just keep grinding higher. This trend line seems very, very good at holding the market down. If we take a look on the daily here, this trend line has just been way too good at holding it down. And when you look at it on the SPX rather than the US 500 futures, you will find it's even better. 20 moving averages, notoriously been good. 50 in the deeper pullback here. And this is what we're looking at right now. Basically another test of the exact same trend line that we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. I would be on the day trade here on the scalp. And of course, if I'm picking stocks, I've said this for the last couple of weeks, I'm looking at specific stock picks to the long that have got good kind of earnings, that are in breakouts, that are having kind of like a nice time. Nvidia is another one that's had a breakout that might be worthwhile looking at on the charts and making your own decisions. In terms of other things, guys, if you're enjoying our videos, please make sure to, of course, also come and visit us on TradingView. We've got 545 followers now. That's awesome. We only had about one a week ago, so thanks so much for following us there. We've got live streams coming at you. I'll probably still do 1 hour on Monday just to talk about maybe cryptocurrencies and everything like that. So we'll start at probably around 10:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'll definitely announce it. And of course, we'll be doing some live market sessions for Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. in the markets next week. So definitely join us there. Stay safe, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.